riveted handles. It's got also NSF quality, so it can be used in a commercial situation. I mean, it's just, and a limited lifetime warranty too. Now, here's another great item, because I don't know if I've ever seen a pressure cooker for a price tag of less than $50.
I know.
When I saw this morning, I thought, what is this? This is a cook show with the most affordable cookware pieces I think I've seen in ages.
Right.
And yet, this is all from CooksEssentials, so I know it's good quality. You've used CooksEssentials, many of you, and you trust the quality. You trust Meredith, because believe me, she gets give these things the once over before they're even bought here at QVC to make sure that they are working properly. So what about this pressure cooker?
Well, let's talk, first of all, why do you even want a pressure cooker? And I'll tell you, a lot of people think, oh, I need a pressure cooker because I want to save time. And I say no. You need a pressure cooker because the food out of a pressure cooker is fantastic. Fantastic. I've written a book. I'm about to write I've written another one. You know, this is a machine that still amazes me. When I take something out of it, I'm like, wow, that is flavorful.
Yeah.
You know why? Because there's nowhere for the flavor to go. A pressure cooker has a lid that seals it tight, traps the steam, traps the flavor, then builds pressure up because of that steam. Right. So instead of water boiling at 212 degrees, it boils at 250 degrees. So yes, it cuts your time down, but it also makes tough cuts of meat super tender. You can cook things faster, which means that you actually retain more nutrients. To pressure steam vegetables is better than actually just steaming them. So you can do so much with it, but really, the flavor is where it's at.
Okay, so you just pulled that big, huge roast. Now, I would think 4 quarts is a smaller size, but check this out.
I know.
This is like the little Volkswagen that people keep coming out
That's
of.
a really good
Now
analogy.
she's bringing all the veggies. This whole platter of food came out of the 1 4-quart pressure cooker. By the way, if you want to get Meredith's book, which has, how many recipes in that
There's
again?
125, including this one, actually.
recipes. And that, by the way, is priced at $22. It's F09871. F09871. Get it. There are not that many left, and she's already working on another one. So if you want to get this one, you want to make sure you get it now. Where's the forks is what I want to know.
Right here.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I'll look after you.
I gotta try this.
So usually a pot roast takes 3 to 4 hours in the oven or on the stove top.
Look at
this.
this.
But here you can do a pot roast like this in an hour.
1 hour.
In an hour. So Mary Beth, the other thing we were talking about with respect to this machine is it has a delay time feature, right? So you could get everything going. You could go off to whatever you need to do. You can go to church. You can set the delay time to start cooking this in an hour, so that by the time I come back in 2 hours, it's going to be perfectly done.
That takes me right back to my home when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Because my mom used a pressure cooker when we went to church.
But you know what, too? In that generations gone by, they had a little, sometimes the wife stayed at home. They had more time to cook. They spent more time in the kitchen than we do, which is a shame for us. But now, with our busy schedules, we can still get the results that we're used to, but in a third of the time.
Oh,
and
man,
now that's the rule of thumb, is a third of the time for this. So if you have a recipe that you love, you cut the time into a third of that time, and then make sure it has a cup of liquid, and you're golden.
So it takes the 2/3 of the time, you just cut it by 1/3. By the way, just to let you know.
No, it takes a third of the time.
A third of the time?
It takes a third of the time. So
like you just cut 2/3 of the time off?
2/3 off, yes.
I thought it was opposite.
No,
oh my goodness. And by the way, there's 3 colors: black, blue, and cinnamon, which is your deeper red. So those are the 3 colors available. By the way, not only is it a pressure cooker for less than $50, the price goes up at the end of the day. There's easy pay besides, 3 monthly payments of $16.66, and that goes away at the end of the day, I believe, and no reorder on these. So once these are gone, we can't get any more. Now, you just did ribs.
I know. You know what? I always start with ribs and pot roast, because those are the 2 things that I think people love the most out of a pressure cooker, because look how tender that is.
Oh,
that is I know you get in there, sister.
I know. I got my fork and my plate.
That's all you need.
That's all I need. And what do you have to put in here? I mean,
so here's how easy ribs can be. You put a jar of barbecue sauce or a bottle of barbecue sauce. You put a cup of stock, and you go 45 minutes with your ribs in there. Then at the end, you see our sauce looks thicker because we add more sauce at the end.
Okay.
So we just drizzle some more barbecue sauce at the end there. But look at that, and how delicious.
And
I love
tell you,
ribs.
It's melt in your mouth meat.
Yep.
Melt in your mouth meat. I mean, how many times have you had ribs and they're chewy? You know, and most of the time ribs take all day in order to be that kind of.
And then you have to, you know, and then one of the things in the summertime that I do is I
so good.
actually steam them in here with the barbecue sauce, and then I just throw them on the grill at the last minute. People think you spent all day long smoking those things, and you haven't at all. So amazing to do.
By the way, 900 of these pressure cookers already spoken for. Black, blue, or cinnamon in color. Here's the cinnamon. Now, one other thing too, this 4-quart pot that is non-stick, correct? And
Yep.
it comes out?
It will. I'm going to show you that.
Okay.
Yeah, so easy to do. But here's another quick meal in under an hour. This is a whole chicken, Mary Beth. It takes 35 minutes.
A whole chicken.
A whole chicken. And look,
It's falling
I
apart.
put the whole chicken in whole, but I can never get it out whole because that's how tender it is. It just falls apart in my tongs here. But all you have to do is take a whole chicken. You can brown it if you want to first. You don't have to. You put it in the pot. You put a jar of marinara sauce. You put a cup of chicken stock, and then you throw in whatever vegetables you have.
Yeah,
So here we've got some
exactly.
peppers, some mushrooms. We threw some rosemary in there. You can throw some dried herbs in if you want to.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
look at that, 35 minutes to a meal like that. That gives you time to, you know, steam a pot of rice if you want to, make some vegetables to go along the side, make a salad, and you've got dinner. Dinner like that.
Like that. By the way, I just want to ask you, so how hard is it to use?
So let's talk about that. Let's take a look at this control panel right here, because this is so easy. You know, I don't know about you, but I grew up, my mom said, don't touch the pressure cooker.
Oh, yeah,
don't
me
touch
too.
it. And it would go on the stovetop, and it would scare the
leave the
living
room.
like everybody. Exactly. This is totally different. This is an electric digital pressure cooker, and here's how it works. You see all these buttons here? Some of them are made for you not even to have to think. You want to cook chicken? You press chicken. You want to make soup? You put the ingredients in, you press soup. How about meat? You also have beans and you have rice, okay? Rice is brilliant in a pressure cooker. Take a look over here though. You can also use this as a slow cooker. Wow. So this is a nice size, 4 quarts in size. It's a small footprint. It's great to keep it on your counter. It also doubles its real estate value because it's a slow cooker as well.
You just don't do it under pressure.
Right,
correct?
exactly. You just make sure you leave the steam valve open into the exhaust position, and you go ahead. So easy to use, and then once it happens is the machine turns on, it brings everything to a boil, the pressure is created, and then it monitors the temperature so you don't have to do a thing. Once pressure is reached, you'll see the time start to count down in this readout right here, so you don't even have to time it.
Right.
When it's finished, it goes into a keep warm setting.
Which is great.
So you come home from church, from your parent-teacher interviews, wherever you are, and it's just sitting there ready for you, all nice and
And
warm.
by the way, if you want this black, fewer than 500 of these remain, and we've already sold about 1,000. So if you want a pressure cooker for less than $50, how about the fact that it's less than $17 a month to get this home and give it a try? And the best part is, you've got a 30-day return policy from QVC. You know, maybe you say, I've never cooked with a pressure cooker, or I haven't cooked with a pressure cooker since I was in high school and my mom was teaching me. They're so much easier now because it's plug in, it's push a button, it's also non-stick. You get to take the inside out.
Yep.
I was the one who ended up having to wash that pressure cooker after my
right.
mother cooked in it all the time. And you know, that thing was nasty. We would love to let it soak.
But you know what? That was the whole point of my first cookbook, pressure cooker cookbook, Mary Beth, is to
This is
make
it, comfortable under pressure.
That's what my whole goal is, to make people comfortable using a pressure cooker. So that book is full of information at the front, also full of tips throughout the entire book, plus
Great.
a whole bunch of recipes that you can then build on. Once you get
125 recipes for $22.
And what I just turned out here, this is gumbo with ham and sausage and rice. Comes right out of the book. So easy to do.
And so you can put like
6 minutes.
6
Yeah.
minutes. Oh my
6
goodness.
minutes.
You know, when you think about it, I look at it this way. You get home, kids are hungry. You're like, what am I gonna make? I haven't even thought about it.
Right.
You know? And maybe you've been to the grocery store in the last few days. You've got a couple different things of meats, you know, in your refrigerator, just knowing you're going to use them that week for cooking. And now you look and you think, I've got this roast in the refrigerator. There's no way the kids are going to wait 2 to 3 hours to eat.
No.
There's not.
Right.
And so all you have to do is literally put some water or broth in the bottom of your pressure cooker pan and get that started heating up and put your roast in. In fact, then you just put the lid on, bring it up to pressure.
Do the kids' homework, and
Yeah,
it's all good.
and at the end of that, your dinner is done,
Or,
like you
or
said,
even
an hour
things
later.
like, you know, we think about pot roast, we think about those things in pressure cooker. We don't often think about things like this. Clams, 4 minutes. 4 minutes to a pot of steaming clams with lemon and garlic and parsley. So simple. And then, you know, what a nice compliment that is to a barbecue.
Oh,
so,
that's a
you know,
good
Memorial
idea.
Day happening, everybody's barbecuing outside. You just happen to have a whole bunch of steamer clams. Hello, everybody's happy. And here's that insert that comes right out. Easy to clean. Just wipe the rest down if you happen to be a messy cook, but don't be a messy cook.
Do you see those clams and how much? I don't know how well you can see
Yeah,
that, but
that's a
that's a 4-quart capacity pressure cooker, and you've got a big, huge bowl of it. We're gonna go off to the phones. You have your choice of the blue, the cinnamon, or the black. The price goes up at the end of the day. The easy pay goes away at the end of the day. And we're talking for less than $17. You can get this home in about a week's time and and start trying it and cooking with it. And I highly recommend getting the cookbook with it that Meredith put out called Comfortable Under Pressure. It's only $22 and there's 125 recipes in it. And I have that cookbook and a pressure cooker from Cook's Essentials. I don't know what I would have done without that cookbook, seriously.
Well, thank you. And that's the corn chowder right from the book with the bacon, of course, on top.
That I think I'm going to try too. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. In the meantime, let's go to the phones. Oh, we were just going to say hi to a wonderful lady named Carolyn, but maybe she had to run. Let's take a quick peek. What's coming up? Oh, meatballs.
Swedish meatballs.
Swedish meatballs. I just told the Temptations girls that they asked me what was my mom's favorite dish.
Yes.
Swedish rice pudding. Here's the Swedish meatballs.
I heard you say that, and I have rice pudding for you too, so I was thinking about you. I just want to show you this too. This is how easy it is to take the gasket out of the lid of this particular cooker. So brilliant design. So now you can take this out, wash it easily, and put it back really easily into that lid. Here are all the safety devices that work in your pressure cooker, so you don't have a thing to worry about. It's just as simple as setting this to airtight or putting that little arrow to exhaust. Exhaust is when you want to release the pressure. Airtight is when you want to actually hold that pressure in. So super easy to use. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to really even think about.
And all the instructions come with it. And I'm going to taste this soup. Then we're going to go off to the phones. If you want this black, there are fewer than 200 of the black left. And then we have the cinnamon and the blue as well. And it goes back to flavor.
And you know the thing too here, the Swedish meatballs I'm pulling out here, these are so nice to do whether you're using it as a slow cooker.
Wow. The flavor is so good. And you did these in the slow cooker?
No, I did this actually in a pressure, but you could do them if you have all the time in the world, go ahead, use it as a slow cooker.
Carolyn,
if you're in a rush, use it as a pressure cooker.
Carolyn from West Virginia. Hi, Carolyn. I'm glad we get to say hi to you.
Hi, how are you, Mary Beth?
Wonderful, wonderful. Please say hi to Meredith.
Hi, Meredith.
Hello.
Have you ever cooked with a pressure cooker before?
Yes, I have the one that goes on the stove, but I wanted the electric one.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
you know what? Because you have less to think about. When you have using an electric one, you're used to using the stovetop, and you have to monitor that temperature underneath to make sure the jiggle valve is actually, or the lever's up at the right level. This one,
Right.
not even thinking. You just set it and you go.
Okay.
Did you find that when you cooked with the stovetop kind, that the flavor, it's like what Meredith said, flavor is just so much better when you've used a pressure cooker?
Oh, yes, yes. The meat's more tenderized, the flavor's there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just tasting this wonderful corn chowder that she made.
Oh, my goodness.
Can I just tell you, I would get her cookbook for $22. It'll be worth it. 125 recipes, and you're going to have soups and stews and even dessert recipes, too.
Yes, I need sent back because I want to get the cookbook.
Oh, thanks so much.
I have the cookbook, and I've used it many times. I'm going to set this soup down because it's hot. Yeah, I highly recommend it. So I'm excited for you. Good for you.
Oh, I am too. I wouldn't trade QVC for nothing.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. That's so very nice, and we appreciate that. Do you happen to be a mom?
Oh, yes, I'm a mom.
Well, happy Mother's Day to you this weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the cooking and enjoy the food as well.
Okay, will you send me back to the cookbook?
I sure will. Just don't hang up. You'll go right back to the operator, and then they can order that cookbook with you, okay?
All right, thank you, Meredith.
Right. You're welcome.
You all have a good day, and God
Bye-bye,
bless
Carol.
you.
God bless you, too. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we did 2 desserts. Oh, by the way, wait.